Welcome to This Week in Jacksonville Business Edition. We are at TPC Sawgrass. I'm with Lee Smith, and we are talking about the players. So this is really, really cool because we said, hey, let's go on location. It's always gorgeous, doesn't matter if it's this hole or another. And this is cool because it's 50th anniversary or 50th Players Championship, and first for you.
Absolutely.
So I thought great opportunity for us to talk about the players, what it means to the community, and 50 years. Let's start there. What's it mean to the PGA Tour and to have the players celebrating 50 years?
Yeah, certainly for me first, as my first, there is that kind of mixture of nerves, anxiety, excitement, all of those types of things as we sit here today.
Yet?
Yeah, not yet, not yet. That's next week. But the 50th anniversary for the Players Championship is certainly a milestone that we're excited about. The opportunity to explore some maybe untold stories over the 50 years. We've got massive legacy in our volunteer force around town that have been involved that long and longer. We've got a lot of stories around Jack Nicklaus winning the first, third, and fifth. First one up at Atlanta Country Club that we've explored. A crazy anecdote, Ken, is Davis Love III's father was the head golf professional at Atlanta Country Club in 1974. And Davis Love III, one of our past champions, actually had a lemonade stand on the second green. Yeah, so exploring that story, 5 years across the street at Sawgrass Country Club that provided the barber chair in the locker room. So a lot of stories for us to explore. And then you get here from 1982 on. So we live in a golf ecosystem that 50 years isn't that old. But at the same time, certainly allows us to tell a lot of stories and celebrate a worthy milestone.
Well, it's great stories, and that's part of the connection between a community and its sports team, or in this case, a sporting event. Is you've got stories. You're like, I remember I was there, and there are so many great elements of the players with that.
I'll tell you, the community, the way that they embrace this event, from our business leaders to our fans, to our volunteers, to really everybody involved. I mean, I tell the story all the time that the first time I moved down here to rent a house, ran into the real estate agent and told her that we worked for the PGA Tour and the players, and immediately they said, oh, we love the players and we love the PGA Tour. My next question was, how long have you played golf? He's like, we don't play golf.
Right.
Then,
Isn't that incredible?
And it's just the embrace, the way that Northeast Florida embraces this event is, I think, is second to none. Having been, in a lot of markets that host events, it's second to none.
Lee, is that the case in other places? Do the people coming to the event, the tournament, are they there for the golf, or is there a mix like there is at the Players of people who say, no, usually I'm not paying attention on golf, but I'm going to be there that week, in this case, in March, when the Players is happening?
Yeah, I think there's two things. You got 365 days a year. The Players Championship has done a really good job of entrenching itself in the community through its charity work and contributions back to so many organizations, 300 plus, and almost 120 million over the 50 years. So, that I think is the 365-day story. The week of the Players, I think we've also done a really good job of creating activation and experiences for the core golf fan that wants to watch golf. Yeah. But at the same time, the person that knows that this is kind of a FOMO community event, that, hey, I don't want to miss it.
Right.
And so you got 23 or 24 restaurant installations that you can activate around and be a part of to really get that food and beverage experience that you like. And we got kids zones and just a lot of stuff to do out here that's a lot of fun.
So the focus of our podcast, economic growth and development. Tell me how the Players is in that space and the difference that it makes for Northeast Florida and our region.
I'll tell you, I'll start with our most recent study that spit out to us was a $234 million impact to Northeast Florida through the week of the Players. And we break that down a couple different ways. Our friends at Visit Jacksonville provides us with some data that allows us. We got 650,000 people, passengers that travel through Jacksonville International Airport. That's their busiest week of the year, is Players Week in March. We've got 18,000 hotel rooms in a 30-mile radius, and almost 90% occupied the week of the Players Championship. So we're always excited to see those numbers have an impact on the economic piece in Northeast Florida for that week. But what we also talk about is we build 500,000 square feet under tent out here to build our traveling city. And we start doing that in mid-October. And it's not torn down until June 1st. So not only is that impact just that once a year, but it's really a 9-month impact to the local area.
Yeah. Tell us about the location now. We're under one of those tents right now.
This is
some work is still going on in the background.
Really. Let's hope that what we're seeing out here is not evident a week from now.
As we record this, it's the week before the Players start. So yeah, we'll get this rain out of the way first.
That's right. This is an exciting venue, a new venue for us called the Intracoastal Club. And as we looked through our menu of products, we felt like there was an opportunity for us to have an entry-level hospitality experience. And what better place on the golf course, if you know the golf course, than having a dual-sided opportunity with the drivable par 4 12th, a really exciting hole on one side, and then the par 3 13th on the other side. There's really not an opportunity on the rest of the golf course to see 7 shots of golf from one venue. So this is an exciting one for us. It's a kind of a sports bar theme with 20 plus TVs in here so that you can watch the action as well as see it live out both sides of the tent.
So that seems like an example of what happens with the tournament. Every year I'm seeing that, hey, a little bit of a tweak. A few years ago, we were just talking about, a few years ago, I think 2018 added the food trucks on 10. I mean, there are different ways that every year it seems like the Players is trying to say, let's take that event enjoyment experience up just a notch, right?
100%. I think we look at the build out and the fan experience as a core element every single year. And that starts from arrival, starts to your experience on course as well as the departure. So we're always looking at ways that we can improve those things every single year with the goal of every 4 or 5 years, we want to totally reinvent the experience. And so it's tweak, reinvent, those types of things. So we're always excited about creating new venues, new experiences, new food and beverage partners, every year to just try to upgrade that experience all the time.
Yeah, Jared Rice had led the event the last several years, 7 or 8 years, I guess. Your first time putting on the I'm in charge hat. What are the opportunities for people to see this year and go, that's right, I'm going back again?
Yeah, well, as I mentioned to you, I love to tease Jared about the fact that he oversaw the 42nd through the 49th Players, and nobody's ever going to remember that guy. The 50th Players is the guy.
Good timing for you.
Absolutely. No, Jared did a great job, and Matt Rapp before him, of really growing the trajectory of this event, and not only putting it raising a high bar in golf circles, but really sports and entertainment in general, and that's our target. So for me, to be able to come in and oversee the 50th, which is really an exciting time, surprise guests coming on board. We've got a great military appreciation day like we always have, bookended by Cole Swindell and our concert act, which we're really excited about. But to have the opportunity to take something that continues to have an upward trajectory and have the target to continue to grow it is certainly an exciting time for me.
What do you think the impact is for businesses? Yep, you've got some partners who come along, you've got sponsors, all that sort of thing. Yep. But it's not a one-way street. What the Players does gives back to those businesses too.
Yeah, I think there's a couple ways of looking at it. We always like to work with our partners to talk to them about how they're going to use it. Is it a retention tool? Is it a business acquisition tool? All of those types of things to make sure that the venue or the experience that they provide to their invitees is very beneficial and meets their objectives. Turn that back around, and certainly the proceeds that the players generates, we're excited that all of our volunteer hours and all of our business partners and fans that come on site, we're able to turn that around and make an impact in the community in which we play. And that's really the exciting opportunity, is to host a golf tournament 1 week a year, but then take those other 51 weeks and there's so many people in need that the Players Championship can really make an impact on all the organizations.
Lee, why is that such a key value for the players? It's that giving back. It's taking care of, here's an opportunity to bless nonprofits who are doing good work in our area.
Absolutely. I think it's, it's cyclical, right? It's one of those things that when we bring people on, we want them to support us. And not in turn, but we always want to support them. And one thing that we always say is that we try to make an impact in the communities in which we play. But once we go and make an impact, it's amazing how big of an impact those organizations make on us. And it just gives you perspective as to how much need is out there and how much of an impact we can make.
Yeah, making it, certainly. There is a reputational impact that happens because 50 years of the players, certainly people not just across the country but across, I think, the globe know about Ponte Vedra and Northeast Florida. Absolutely. Because this incredible event happens here.
Yeah, it's it's the capital of the world, capital of the golf world, especially 1 week a year for sure. We talk 28 languages is broadcast. 51 million hours of our telecast was consumed last year worldwide. Wow. I mean, to think about a 51 million hour commercial for Ponte Vedra, Northeast Florida, St. Johns County, Jacksonville, that's pretty substantial. And we take that as a pretty major obligation to perform at a high level. We feel that we deliver a really good product for people to take in via the TV channels, but also on site as well.
Yeah, if you haven't attended, if you haven't come in person, you're missing out on what the experience is. Lee Smith, thank you for the time. Appreciate it. Thanks for watching and listening to our podcast here this week in Jacksonville Business Edition.